So now we want to look at multiplying complex numbers. It is going to be very similar to how we've multiplied things before, that we're going to FOIL these things, FOIL or distribute, however you want to think about it. The one thing that you have to remember, is that I squared is -1. Okay, because I is the square root of -1, I squared is -1. We never want to leave an I squared in the problem. So I'll show you how we deal with this. It's not really a big problem. All right, so we're going to FOIL this. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2i is 6i. -2i times 3 is -6i. And -2i times 2i is -4i squared. So that's just FOILing like we're used to. Like terms, 6i and -6i are going to cancel. So we have 9 minus 4. Now, remember, I just said that we don't ever want to leave an I squared in the problem. So remember, I squared is the same thing as -1. So this is 4 times -1, which is going to make this 9 plus 4, which is 13. So it is possible to multiply two complex numbers and get a real number, because you see the imaginary parts went away. That doesn't always happen. It happens in special cases. So let's check out this next one. This one's just a distributing problem. We want to do 2/5 I times 10. So that's going to give us what? 20/5, which is 4. So 4i. And then 2/5 I times 5/2. That's just 10 over 10. So that's 1. So minus 1i squared. So we have 4i minus, remember, I squared is -1. So then those become positive. And so there's our answer. We usually write the real part first. So it should be 1 plus 4i. All right, let's do one more of these FOIL problems. So 1/2 times 6 is 3. 1/2 times -12i is -6i. 2i times 6 is plus 12i. And 2i times -12i is -24i squared. All right, so we have 3. These are like terms. Plus 6i minus 24. And remember, I squared is -1. So this is actually 3 plus 6i plus 24. And then I'm going to combine my like terms one more time. I'm going to have to write the answer over here because I'm running out of space. So we get 27 plus 6i. Okay, so that is multiplying. Again, it's just distributing, FOILing. Just remember that I squared is -1. Don't ever leave an I squared in the problem. Now, we are going to talk about division in just a second, but before we do that, I want to go back to this problem here. I'm going to erase these things. So something kind of cool happened here, that when we multiplied 3 minus 2i and 3 plus 2i, two complex numbers, we got a real number. And that's because there was something special about these. You see they're the exact same thing, except one's a minus and one's a plus. We call those complex conjugates. So complex conjugates are when you have the exact same thing, just one's a plus, one's a minus. So 3 minus 2i, 3 plus 2i. So coming down here, let's take a look at these complex conjugates. The conjugate of 7 minus 8i is going to be 7 plus 8i. The conjugate of -2 plus I is going to be -2 minus I. And the conjugate of 1 plus 5i is 1 minus 5i. Okay, so those are conjugates. Now, something pretty cool happens when you multiply conjugates. So we're going to multiply, I don't think I'll have space to do that. I'll just do it here. So we're going to multiply these two things. So we get 49 plus 56i minus 56i minus 64i squared. And you'll notice that 56 and -56 cancel out. That is always going to happen with conjugates. Always, always. So we end up with 49 Now, this part right here, see if I can circle it. That is negative 64 times negative 1. So then we end up with 49 plus 64. That was really sloppy. Let's try that again. And 49 plus 64 is 113. So we have multiplied two complex numbers and we got a real number. All right, let's try this next one. So we're going to FOIL this out. I may not write all of the pieces of it because it's going to get really sloppy. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 2 times negative I is plus 2i. I times negative 2 is minus 2i. And I times negative I is minus I squared. Okay, so that was just the FOIL part of it. The middle terms are going to cancel. They always do. They're conjugates. So we get 4 minus I squared, which is negative 1. And 4 minus negative 1 is just 5. So again, we multiplied our conjugates and we got a real number. All right, let's do this last one. I'm going to FOIL it out. I'm just not going to draw all the little things as I do it. So it's sloppy. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 5i is negative 5i. 5i times 1 is positive 5i. And 5i times negative 5i is negative 25i squared. Middle terms cancel, so we get 1 minus 25, and instead of I squared, we're going to write negative 1. So we get 1 plus 25, which is 26. So we are going to utilize this fact about conjugates when we do our division. We'll do that in the next video.